Hi everyone, this is Emmy. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this very easy sleeveless summer top. So let's get started. I'm working with worsted weight yarn and a 5.5mm crochet hook. You can use any size yarn and any size hook that you'd like. Start with a slip knot. And work a foundation chain that reaches from your shoulder to wherever you would like the hem to be. So you can make this as long or as short as you would like. When you have your foundation chain the correct length, single crochet in the second stitch from the hook and in each stitch all the way across the chain. All the way across the chain. Like that, we single crochet all the way across the chain. Chain one and turn. Working in the second stitch from the hook and in the back loop only, single crochet in each stitch all the way across the row. So work only in the back loop and single crochet in each stitch all the way across the row. Like that. Okay, I worked all the way across the row, and that's what it looks like. Now I'm going to repeat that row for 4 more rows so that I have a total of 6 rows in this ivory color. So again, in the second stitch from the hook, working only in the back side of the stitch or in the back loop, single crochet in each stitch all the way across the row. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like when I have 6 rows completed. Okay, I've gone ahead and I've worked 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's what that looks like. It looks like ribbing. So I'm going to bring in my new color. And we're going to be crocheting on this end and on that end. So you should be able to carry your colors along without cutting them. So there's my yarn that I pulled through my stitch. So now I'm going to single crochet in that first stitch, and I'm working in the full stitch, not the back loop anymore. So that's single crocheted into the stitch. In the next stitch I'm going to single crochet below the stitch and make a single crochet, and that will give you this little spike look. So let's do that all the way down the row. Single crochet in the regular position of the stitch, and then go down below that stitch and single crochet. Like that. So regular single crochet and a long single crochet. Repeat that all the way down the row. And when I make this spike stitch, there's the stitch and there's below the stitch, and you can see there's a little horizontal stitch here, and I'm going to go below that horizontal stitch. So again, in the regular part of the stitch, and then I'm going to come down below this one, below that horizontal line, and make my long single crochet. Like that, and I'm going to repeat that all the way across the row. Okay, I reached the end of my row, and I ended with a regular single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1 and turn. In this row I'm working again in the back loop. So I'm going to single crochet in the second stitch from the hook, working only in the back loop, and then single crochet in each stitch all the way across the row, working in the back side of the stitch. Like that, all the way across the row. Okay, I worked all the way down the row. There's where I left my ivory color, so I'm going to pull that through. And then chain 1. and then continue on and work 6 rows of single crochet in the back loop in this ivory color. And that's how that looks. So you're going to go ahead and continue to repeat those 8 rows over and over until you can stretch this at the chest, and it will stretch easily to the size of your chest. This stitch works like a ribbing stitch, and so if you stretch it slightly so that it reaches across the chest, then it will contour nicely with your body. And now when you have this the correct width, we're going to work up across the top, and I'm going to work 2 rows of double crochet, 2 rows of single, and 2 rows of double. So to do that, first of all, you're going to mark evenly a number of stitches that you need to be able to pass this over your head, and that will be the neckline. And then you're going to start and work from one side to the other. Okay, I've gone ahead and I've marked for the neckline, and this will be the single crochets, and I'm going to start here, and I'm going to double crochet to here, and then single, and then double. So I'm going to attach my yarn in the first stitch and chain 2, and at the end of each of these rows I'll make a double crochet. So that's the first row, there's the second row, make a double crochet, and then go to the next row. You can feel it when the ridges, make a double crochet, so I'm going to work in double crochets right up to my marked stitch. So I had 6 rows in this ivory color, and so I'm going to continue across to my marked stitch working double crochets, and I'll need 2 here. So there's my first one, and there's my second one, like that. So I'm going to work across till I get here. Okay, I worked all my double crochets up to my marked stitch. So now I'm going to make single crochets from here to here. So we'll need 2 here, single crochet, and single crochet, and I'm going to need 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 2, and then 6. I'm going to work up to the next marked stitch. Okay, I worked all my single crochets. I'm at the marked stitch, so I'm going to make 1 more single crochet, and then I'm going to switch back to my double crochet. And I'm going to work all the way to the end of the row. Okay, I finished my double crochets, and there's what that looks like. There's my double crochet, my single crochet, and my double crochet. Now I'm going to repeat this row. So I'm going to chain 2, and that'll take the place of the first double crochet. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to double crochet over to here until I get to my single crochet. Okay, I worked all the double crochets, and now I can see here are my singles. So now I'm going to single crochet up to the next double. Okay, I worked my doubles and then my singles, and then I'm back to doubles, so I'll just go right into the double crochet again. And work right to the end of the row. Okay, I worked all the way across, and that's what that looks like. There's my shoulders, there's my neckline, and there's my shoulders. Now you're going to make 2 of these. And then you're going to sew them together here at the shoulders. Sew the shoulder seams. You're just going to match your 2 sides of shoulder, the front and the back, and then sew through, matching the stitches. And you can sew through both loops like that, or you can just sew through one. Like that. So go ahead and sew your shoulder seams. And you're also going to sew down the 2 side seams, making sure you leave an opening here large enough for the arms. Leave an opening for the arms and sew the side seams. Like that, all the way down to the bottom. And then we're going to do the armbands, which is 1 row of double crochet. So there's my armhole, and I'm going to insert my hook in the bottom at the underarm and pull that yarn through, and I like to lock it in. And I'm going to take 1 more stitch, and that will be equivalent to a double crochet. And I want the armbands to be a little bit snug, so I'm going to work a double crochet decrease in every 4th stitch. So that takes the place of the first double crochet. So 1 and 2. So that's the equivalent of 3. 1, 2, 3. I will work a double crochet decrease. So yarn around the hook, insert into the stitch, pick up the yarn and pull it through. And now yarn around the hook, insert into the next stitch, pick up the yarn and pull it through. You're going to have 5 loops on the hook. You're going to pick up the yarn, pull it through all 5 loops. And then you're going to go right back to the same sequence. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. And then we work another double crochet decrease. Like that. And I'm going to work all around the opening, and when I get back here, I'm going to slip stitch to join in the top of that chain 2, and I'm going to fasten off. And now I'm going to make the band along the bottom, and you could start anywhere on the bottom, but I'm going to start here at my side seam, and I'm going to insert my hook, and I'm going to pull my yarn through, and I'm going to lock it in and take 1 more chain stitch, and that will be the equivalent of a double crochet. And I'm going to work the same as the armbands. I'm going to work 3 double crochet and then a double crochet decrease, because this stitch is very stretchy and you don't want the bottom of your sweater to stretch out. So I'm going to double crochet 1, 2. So that's the equivalent of 3. And now I'll do a decrease. So yarn around the hook, insert into the stitch, and pull up a loop. Yarn around the hook, insert into the next stitch, and pull up a loop. Yarn around the hook, pull through all 5 loops. Now you're going to go ahead and do that all the way across the bottom to work the bottom band. 1, 2, 3. And then a decrease. Like that. You're just going to work all the way across the bottom, and if you want to stabilize it, you could just do 1 more row of single crochet. That's entirely up to you. And there you go. That's how easy it is to crochet this sleeveless summer top. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.